Okay, you guys, what do we have right here? What do we see right here? Does this image make you guys angry, mad, upset, tearful? Well, with me, it's all of that because it's constantly, it's why us, why us, why us? How come everything always gotta happen to us? When I mean us, I mean people that look like me, my skin tone. Even if I'm a lighter skin tone, but I am still African American descent from my ancestors. So when I say why it always happened to us, I'm not saying it doesn't happen to other races, but I'm talking about us right now. So this incident happened in Lancaster, California, where allegedly a man and a woman, I don't know if there was husband and wife or boyfriend, girlfriend, we don't know that information right now, but allegedly they was stealing out of the store, but we don't have no items that was retrieved from them, so maybe it was assumption that they were stealing. I don't know. I'm going to show y'all the video in a minute. So the man was been handcuffed. The young lady, from what they said to us, they made it seem like she was a bystander and she was recording, and the officer didn't like her recording, so he went up to her, tried to slap the foam out her hand, and then proceeded to throw her on the ground. And then they started tussling, and then words are exchanged between the officer and the young lady, and then he pepper sprayed her. Was all that necessary? And then also with the young lady, you do have your rights and stuff like this, but I always say, why you want to keep arguing with a person of authorities when it can really be bad for you? Even though you have your rights, but comply so things will not escalate. And if you are doing the righteous thing without trying to argue and resist arrest and all the other kind of stuff, deal with the issues in the correct manner. And then if he was wrong, then his body camera would show that. But by you arguing and fussing and tussling with an officer, you're making situations worse on you. And when I say making situations worse on you, you are causing yourself to be handled in this type of manner. Even though it's wrong, yes, it's wrong. But still, comply. And then you feel like that you didn't do anything wrong, then you can take it up and make a complaint. But while you sitting up here arguing, fussing, and tussling, just get handcuffed and call it a day. That's all I'm saying. So, hi you guys. I am her. I am that girl. I am House of Queens TV, baby. And I want you guys to view this content. Please leave a comment. Subscribe if you want to do so. And let's get into what we can get into. Yeah. Let's go. And you guys, for fair use as well, some of this video, well, mainly most of this video will be disturbing to some or most or all. So if you have a hard time viewing this content, please view one of my other videos. I really appreciate it so much. Again, if you guys are having trouble watching this video, I apologize. So please join me on another one of my videos that I uploaded. And thank you guys so much for just coming over here and viewing my content. And as I give you guys this content, I will be stopping this time to time and giving you guys my commentary.
Newly released body cam video shows a Los Angeles County deputy slamming a woman to the ground. Investigators say they encountered a man and woman matching the description of robbery suspects. The woman seen in the video was initially filming deputies as they cuffed the man. As deputies attempted to detain her, The situation escalated after throwing the woman to the ground. One of the deputies can be heard yelling, quote, "Stop, or you're going to get punched in the face," before pepper spraying and handcuffing her.
Oh, no! The video that is being filmed from the car, I was on my knees in the passenger seat, and I just couldn't believe my eyes. I was just so upset.
I want to make it clear to all of our community that this investigation is to objectively, and I do repeat, objectively, determine if the force used was reasonable, if it was necessary, if it was appropriate, and proportional to the level.
I understand that this is what whoever the spokesman for the officer is supposed to say. We got to view the image, the video footage, to make sure that he had a reasonable duty to slam her to the ground and to pepper spray her. As we watch this with our eyes, the same eyes that he's looking at, but he's looking at it from a different brain stem from us looking at it. We're constantly being attacked for our skin. And this goes for anyone that works in a high stressful environment, as a police officer, as a medic, a fireman. Any job is stressful, but when I say a high level stress job as a police officer, you bringing your stress from your house possibly. We don't know, before you came to this call, you may have had another call that was intense. So we got to take that also. I'm not taking up for this officer. I'm just saying it because, I have family in this field. So, I'm trying to interview them, but they will not let me. Or I say I can blur your face out, God damn it, but they don't want me to. But we gonna work on it. We gonna work on it. We gonna work on that. Damn it. You hear me? We gonna work on it. If you're watching it, yeah, your cousin's coming for your throat, brother. So, working in this stressful level, you don't know if they had a call previous to coming to this call, but that doesn't matter. The thing that matters is that the lady didn't seem threatening. She had a cell phone recording for her protection as well, and the manner that you slapped the phone out of her hand and then proceed to grab her by her wrist and her neck, the back of her neck, and slam her on the ground like she does not matter to you just because she was recording you. And if she was in the store stealing, okay, it's a misdemeanor. It's a misdemeanor. And then they did also say that they was fighting with loss prevention, because I'm like, okay, you have these two people, and they waited for the police. I mean, they weren't running, because okay, you had loss prevention, and obviously the man was not in handcuffs, neither was the woman. So they waited for the police to show up to say, hey, we was not in here stealing. We want to give our side. They assumed that we were stealing, so we don't have the video from loss prevention to prove none of this. Maybe come out in a later time and date. But all we know is that it was a call to the police officers and said that they had two individuals in here stealing, and we tried to attain them, but they unfortunately was aggressive. They started fighting us, so they're still in the parking lot and whatever. I don't know why. I don't know any thieves that will be accused of stealing will hang around the parking lot unhandcuffed, waiting for the police to show up. Some people does that, but I don't know many that was accused of stealing and had a tussle with loss prevention and wait for the police to show up and potentially escalate the situation like it has escalated now. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think about this situation. Like, comment, share, subscribe if you want to do so.
Of actions that were described.
Queen City News Chief Legal Analyst Khalif Rose here joins you now in the studio. And Khalif, obviously a lot to unpack here. We want to start with this. Did that officer have the proper clearance to detain her?
Well, I mean, I think that's a great place to start. Obviously, the video is disturbing. We were discussing in the back that kind of reminded us of the Rodney King incident. I think it starts with the call first. All reports were that the 911 call was saying that, listen, this is a robbery in progress. And so, do they have an ability to detain an individual when they suspect that a crime is occurring? Yes. In the beginning of the video, they get there and they detain the first individual.
Excuse me,
now,
guys.
this other woman, they mentioned that there were 2 robbery suspects, and I quote, robbery suspects, doing that, believed that there was another person. They had authority to detain her. In the manner in which she detained, I think that may be what we have a longer question for. As you saw, Sheriff Luna said, we'll have a thorough investigation and figure out that he followed the actual protocol and policy for sure.
Yeah, going to be a long investigation here. The woman suspected in the robbery, but if you're a bystander, what are your rights when it comes to filming a police officer?
And I think that's a great question. If she was a bystander, she was 100% within her right to stand there and film. You just can't be impeding or interrupting the investigation, and if they ask you to move, you have to move back outside of that investigation area. And typically,
I believe that the proper feet to stand away and record an officer carrying out his duty is 100 feet, maybe 400 feet. I'm not sure, but from what we see, that she was well in the facility far back enough to record the situation without interfering in the arresting officer. We also see that she's only moving around because the officer is possibly in front of a camera shot. So when he moves in front of the individual, the black male that is being arrested, so when the officer gets in front of him, so she can't see what's going on. Now, she probably can't even hear what's going on, but she really can't see what's going on. So, when he moves his body, and she'll move hers, and then he'll move his, and then she'll move her body. So, she's getting into a ring around the rosies, pull the chair away when the music stops, trying to get footage of her husband, boyfriend, we don't know who the individual is to her. So, yeah, she isn't well of her right far back enough to obtain footage without interfering in the officer.
in these types of trainings where you know your rights, if you're filming and they go to grab your phone, in that incident, that's not the proper place to dispute that. While she may have been within her right to be there as a bystander, if an officer's going for your phone, attempting to grab your phone, and you pull away or you turn, they may imply that as an attempted threat. And so while I do believe that did not occur in this situation, most of the time you're informing someone to not attempt to pull away, even if they are not justified. The reason is because you can catch another charge, as she did in this situation. They charged her with the additional.
See, do you hear this foolish stupidity bullshit? And that's why a lot of laws, and that's why it's important for us to go out and vote and try to get some of these laws into play, because she's filming the officer and she's far enough back from him so he can do his duties. But I don't think that was the same officer. I think it's another officer. So he's charging her. He's charging her in an aggressive manner where he goes to slap her phone out of her hand. That's her property. And so while he's trying to attempt to slap her phone out of her hand, she moved her phone back. How is that going to give her a charge where this officer with a gun? And another thing that bothers me is that when the officer says that they feel threatened, they feel scared. How in the fuck are you scared? How in the fuck are you nervous when you are a fucking officer? That's one thing that that's one thing that they want to play with and say that they fear for their life and if they're scared. How in the fuck is that? Well, you in the wrong motherfucking field, because I don't want any officer that said that they fear for their fucking life and they are in danger with someone that does not have a gun, does not have any weapon on them, and that can be proven that they don't have a weapon on them, that they is in danger and they fear for their life. If you were that fucking scared and you fear for your fucking life, bitch, I don't want you in my fucking jurisdiction as an officer, because you a fucking scary ass nigga. You a scary ass woman. So if you that fucking scared, this job is not for you. This job is not for you. Go be a librarian. Go be a grocery store clerk. Hell, work for the park rangers. But being an officer with a gun, a baton, and every other gadgets that they give y'all, but for you to be in fear of your life as a officer that's supposed to serve and protect people, but you scared, that is not the fucking job for you. And I wish that you would not have applied, or you need to resign as quickly as possible. Because you was charging towards me, sir. You're trying not to fall out of my hand, but you want to charge me because I am protecting. You can damage someone's arm and ligaments in their hand with a simply a hard enough slap. I know. It happened to me.
Resisting arrest.
Yeah, tensions running high, but the video also tells a pretty good story here. Protests have broken out in the LA area. What kind of civil case does the woman have in the video here?
I mean, if I'm looking at this case, the very first thing I'm doing is I want to see what their policy says. Does your policy have something laid out for how you encounter an individual that is recording? And did the individual follow that policy? That's the very first step. The second thing you have to jump over is the hurdle of something called implied immunity. Officers have this extra protection, this extra shield, just based on the type of work that they do. That civil litigation is extremely hard. That's why when we see these videos play out, it's rare that you see a civil lawsuit that plays out with a win for a victim in her case. But it does happen. I believe once everything comes out that A, this was not a robbery, it may have or may not have been shoplifting at the very most, but not a robbery. If I'm thinking a robbery, I'm thinking there's arms involved, there's some type of scuffle. The guy was sitting down holding the cake in his hand. You would not have expected that to occur with the lady ending on the ground getting pepper
You don't
sprayed.
expect those type of things when you come up, but there's a lot of stuff you're going through in your heads during that time.
For sure, and I mean, we all can Monday morning quarterback it, right? But that's why you have policies, that's why you train for these incidents, and so I appreciate this newly elected sheriff. He's only been on the job for 7 months, and he's walking into this. So for sure, I appreciate him saying, we'll do a thorough investigation, and we'll make sure that we figure out exactly what happened, and if any policy or procedure was broken. And I'm sure that something was broken in that video.
Transparency also very helpful.
Okay, so that's what we have so far in this video, and so I will try my best to keep up with this situation and let y'all know anything that happens down the line on the situation. Again, like I said, I don't believe it was a robbery or a shoplift, because again, I don't know any motherfucker in their right mind that would sit here and stay and wait for the police to show up. So the person that called and put a 20 on 10, because like he said, they had a cake in his hand. So maybe, you know, sometimes when you go to the store, you can pay for your item, like the cake. You can pay for the cake and wait for it to get done, and you can pay for it first, hold your receipt, so when the cake is done, you come back with your receipt. And so maybe that's what he did. He paid for it already, had the receipt, and they also attached the receipt to the cake. So he probably just walked in and got his cake and then walked out, and they assumed like, oh, well, this nigga done stole the cake. Good gosh Molly, this nigga done stole the whole cake. What? How much them cakes be costing? Them little square cakes. What? $12, $13. This nigga done stole a $13 cake, and this is what happened from a $13 cake. So that's probably what happened. I don't know. I wasn't there, but I'm saying when he just said it was a cake, so that's why I'm assuming that he paid for the cake already and wait for it to get done. A few days later, walked in there and retrieved his cake and walked the fuck back out. He didn't think he did anything wrong. Well, he know he didn't do anything wrong from people being fucking nosy up in their fucking business. Oh, he's stealing a cake. Let me call Popo, because he's stealing a whole cake. I wasn't in there. We weren't in there, so we don't know what that was exchanged with these two individuals in the loss prevention. So he said he was sitting there with a cake in his hand. That's what I'm assuming, that they assumed that he stole the whole fucking cake. And like I said, I don't know any motherfucking body. I'm sorry for cussing. This just made me mad, because I'm tired of seeing stuff like this happen to us. To us. But still, I'm not finna victim blame. I'm not even gonna finish that statement. So, If you guys are here for the first time, welcome, welcome, welcome. Subscribe if you want to do so. And I am who I am, right now, girl. I am House of Queens TV, the one a reputed diva, baby. And thank you for joining me on this content right here. So please subscribe if you want to do so. Put your notification bells on so when I upload, you guys will be notified. Share, thumbs up, and please, if you can leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about the situation, and I will see you guys on another one. It's a thing called life. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, but put your faith in God. He will see you through. He is all understanding. I love you. God love you, and I hope you love yourself even more. Yeah. Love you guys. Bye.